Good evening, Tallahassee. My name is Isabel Weiss here with FSU Weather. Let's get into the forecast for today with a quick look over Doak Campbell Stadium. As you've probably seen walking to class, it is completely overcast, sitting pretty warm at 79 degrees, mostly cloudy, with a slight wind coming from the east-northeast at 6 miles per hour. Today in Tallahassee, it is 79 degrees. It's been very, very warm, especially compared to surrounding areas like Thomasville and Valdosta. But we're seeing it a little bit warmer down by the coast with that warm air and at 80 in Apalachicola, with dew points very, very close to our temperatures, which is why we're seeing such muggy, humid conditions. Local radar, you've seen these scattered thunderstorms coming throughout the whole entire day. It's been making you bring that umbrella to class. And today on FSU Weather, we're going to be talking about the rain. Will it continue? It's finally fall. You can go check out that foliage, and the extreme drought continues for the south-southeast.
Good afternoon, Tallahassee, and I welcome everyone to another terrific Tuesday show. We have a lot lined up for you guys today. We're going to be talking about El Nino winter and East Coast floods, as well as a look at the tropics and what we have in store for Tallahassee. And the main story so far has been this rainy day. How's it been treating you, Jackson?
Oh, this rain has not been fun. You know, on my walk to class today, I got a little wet. Was not really that prepared for it, but for after lunch, I had my umbrella with me, so I was pretty good. How about you?
Yeah, this whole morning was pretty bad. I had to go out in my raincoat. My shoes got a little bit wet. Definitely not the most ideal scenario. But Oceana, how are things going to look in Tallahassee for the rest of tonight and tomorrow?
See that just as cloudy, overcast day that we had today is going to be something that we might see tomorrow as well. Currently in Tallahassee, we just are still seeing some scattered showers in the area, but hopefully they're going to move out for tonight. Here in Tallahassee, we're sitting at 79 degrees. All across the board here, we are sitting in the 70s. Over here on the coast in Apalachicola, we are at 80 degrees, so really warm today and honestly really rainy. So that is the type of conditions that we will be likely to see moving forward. Our high today was 79 and our low was 73, which are pretty much on average, I would say, nowhere near the record of 99 degrees we had in 1931. For our dew points, we are seeing 76 in Tallahassee and 72 in Thomasville. So these temperatures are really showing that mugginess that we are seeing. This temperature, this dew point is very close to the temperature, which really indicates very humid weather that we are seeing today. For the future radar, we are going to see some more clouds push through, some more showers tomorrow in the morning, and as well throughout the day there will be some more pop-up thunderstorms, but really nothing too crazy. So tonight it is going to continue to stay really cloudy. It's going to be a little bit rainy, 71 degrees, so definitely bring out that umbrella if you are going out tonight. Definitely not going to be the best night to do so, but we are going to see some more rain moving into tonight. 73 will be our temperature that we're looking at here in Tallahassee. Really all across the board, just low 70s tonight, but it's still going to be quite muggy due to that rain that has been pushing through lately. Over here in St. Mark's and in Parabel and Apalachicola, all these coastal areas are seeing between 74 and 77 degrees tonight. So it is going to be sitting low 70s all across the Big Bend region, 70 up in Thomasville as well. Tomorrow, like I had mentioned before, we are going to see some more scattered thunderstorms, and 82 degrees is what we're looking like for tomorrow. So just so you know, when you're going to class, definitely still bring that umbrella with you. It's definitely going to be rainy as well, really all over the Big Bend region. Here in Tallahassee and Quincy, St. Mark's, we're seeing low 80s tomorrow, all the way up to Valdosta and Thomasville. We are seeing high 70s. Still 80s looking ahead. For the week, hopefully the rain will die out by the weekend. We are seeing some sunnier days ahead and some lower temperatures. You see the 67 on Saturday as our low and 67 as our low on Sunday as well. And honestly, moving into the week, I'm getting excited for that 67
Thank you, Oceana. Yeah, we definitely have interesting weather today, but it is going to clear out. But taking your look around Florida, you can see showers and storms have affected much of the state today. Orlando looks clear now, but that's because the line already went through that area earlier. Tampa, you're dealing with clouds. Panama City has some showers and storms in the area, and you can kind of tell from all the clouds on here. But looking at your current temperatures, 77 here in Tallahassee. It's been rainy, it's been cloudy all day, and that's kept our highs pretty low. It's still storming in Jacksonville. It's been pretty stormy there for a while. Looking at the rest of the state, you've gotten some heat more than up here. You're dealing with thunderstorms in West Palm Beach with 83 degrees right now too. But over the next 3 days, Miami, you're going to be pretty wet. It's going to storm tomorrow, it's going to storm on Thursday, and it's going to storm again on Friday. So it's more of the same story with a summer-like pattern, lots of moisture. Tampa, you look even wetter than Miami with 80% chances of storms on Thursday and Friday, and highs up in the mid to upper 70s. So it's going to be pretty warm, it's going to be pretty muggy, and it's going to be wet. You're going to feel this when you go outside. If you're going to Orlando, if you're going to the theme parks or anything, you're dealing with 80% chances on Thursday and Friday as well. So it's going to be pretty wet and muggy there too, so definitely plan accordingly. Jacksonville, you have a 70% chance of storms tomorrow, 60% Thursday, 50% on Friday. Your temperatures are closer to 80 due to clouds and rain, but it's still going to be pretty wet. It's going to be muggy, and even though the temperatures may be a bit nicer, it's not going to feel nice to go outside in that weather. For Pensacola, the system clears you a bit earlier, so you're only dealing with the showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. By Thursday, you'll still be dealing with clouds, but it will feel nicer and it won't be too hot. Friday, the sun's going to come out and it's going to get hot too. But looking at your radar around Florida this evening, you could see some more showers and storms developing west of Tallahassee, which may affect us later tonight. You can see the line of strong to severe storms has gone through North Florida. It's now moving offshore, but we did have severe thunderstorm warnings up there too. So you can see that Florida is pretty messy today. South Florida, you're dealing with showers and storms too. You're in the middle of the state, east of Fort Myers. You have a pretty strong storm out here, so definitely be aware of that. Looking around central Florida, we have some storms blowing up. This is northeast of Orlando, and these storms are starting to get pretty strong too, so definitely be weather aware if you're out here. Around North Florida, you can see first the line that I talked about is now moving offshore of northeast Florida, but this had some warnings earlier. And then looking around Tallahassee, you do see your next round of showers and storms coming out of the southwest. But looking at tomorrow, we have a stormy day around Florida, so definitely be aware of that if you are going to be going out. But now I'm going to pass things off to Jackson to take a look around the southeast.
Thank you so much, Nico. You know, around the southeast right now, we're not seeing too much rain in the general area. We are seeing some parts of Georgia and Florida seeing some rain, but taking a look around on our live looks, Tampa right here, you can see some of those clouds offshore. I believe that's looking offshore, looking towards the bay. New Orleans, a little cloudy as well. Nashville, Tennessee, you know, I'm not sure if the sun's set there right now, but, you know, it's probably a beautiful day there. And then in Charlotte, it's looking pretty nice, a little cloudy as well. And then taking a look at the southeast, okay. So yeah, so like I've been saying, we had only been seeing a little bit of rain in the southeast. I can see right here, Jacksonville, that line. In fact, us here in Tallahassee, more storms coming through, Apalachicola Bay as well. And then, but you see that area of high pressure over Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. You know, that's mainly what's keeping us a little bit dry, keeping that rain towards the south. And then taking a look at our current temperatures in the southeast. You know, New Orleans, 87, mainly seeing 70s, especially along the eastern seaboard, which is pretty nice for this time of year. And then Nashville, 90, Little Rock, 93, very warm over there. I'm very glad to be here in Tallahassee where it's not that hot right now. And then taking a look at some of the winds. You know, it's a little gusty. Mobile, you're seeing 10 miles an hour winds. Nothing too crazy in and around the southeast. Taking a look at our weekend ahead. You know, you could see a pop-up shower too, especially here in Florida as per usual this time of year. And then you could see some clouds through southern Georgia and Macon area. And at the end there, you saw some storms popping up over in Alabama. And then the muggy cast, you know, this is how it feels outside when you go outside, you know, and how much moisture is in the air. Here in Tallahassee, pretty muggy because we just had a lot of rain. But for the most part of this week, we're going to see pretty dry conditions, especially in Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi. And then now we're going to go city by city, take a look at Charlotte. Charlotte here, High 74 Wednesday. Pretty nice temperatures. See a little warm up on Saturday to 80, and then 58 Thursday morning. Jealous. I wish we could hit the 50s here in Tallahassee. Taking a look at, I believe this is not Charlotte, Tampa. 80s across the board. You know, you get an 83 for one of your highs, not too bad. Low temperatures, pretty much the same going throughout the week. And then, okay, now we're at Tampa. I'm not sure what the last city was, but so yeah, you can see, we can see some storms, especially Thursday, and then going into the weekend, so not going to be the best weekend in Tampa if you're planning on going out. And then taking a look at New Orleans, you know, NOLA, everyone loves to go there, have fun. 88 throughout the weekend, so it should be pretty nice in New Orleans. Now we're going to go a little bit north with Nick, so take us home, country roads, all the way to West Virginia.
Yeah, of course. So this week on America the Weatherful, the national park we are going to is actually in West Virginia, and it's actually the United States' most recent national park, and it's New River Gorge National Park. And like I said, it's the most recent national park designated December 27 of 2020, and it is home to the 5th largest single-span arch bridge in the world at over 3,000 feet in length, and that bridge is crossing the New River, which some scientists think is considered the second oldest river in the world at least 65 million years old, and that is because this river apparently is older than the Appalachian Mountains itself, and the Appalachian Mountain is a really old mountain chain, and that is because this river actually flows from east to west. Unlike most rivers that flow from the west to east into the Atlantic, this river flows into the Ohio River, which eventually goes into the Mississippi. As for the temperature almanac for today, the high today was 71, just right as average, and the low 55, pretty much average temperatures today here in New River Gorge, definitely far away from those records of 87 and low of 30 back in the early 1900s. As for current conditions, right now it's partly cloudy with temperatures at 59 degrees and wind from the southeast at 11 miles per hour. So pretty good conditions to go out to New River Gorge, and fall is probably the best time to go because of the nice color of the leaves that you see at the time in the mountains. So current temperatures for the region, 70s all throughout, a little bit cooler as you go east into the mountains, into the Appalachian Mountains and into Virginia. As for current dew points, it's actually fairly dry closer to the mountains with dew points in the upper 50s, but as you go a little bit west, dew points will be in the lower 60s, so a little bit more muggy as you go farther into West Virginia. As for current satellite, the clouds is starting to go cloud cover is starting to move a little bit farther north and it's starting to dissipate a little bit, as well as the rain that was near Beaver and Burnsville. So as for future radar, there's actually a warm front that's going to be coming up through, so there you will see some cloud cover and some rain, especially into southern West Virginia and it will make its way into the Appalachian Mountains. As for the 4-day forecast, things are going to be looking absolutely beautiful with temperatures in the low 70s. Now I'm going to pass it off to Nico and Isabel to talk about El Nino.
Yes, thank you, Nick. We definitely have an El Nino coming in this winter, and it's going to make things potentially interesting here in the southeast for us.
Yeah, so someone was just asking me today how El Nino affects us and what it basically is, and it's especially going to affect us here in the southeast with the jet stream that is going to push down further south and increase temperature and precipitation that we're seeing here in the southeast.
Yeah, and another thing that we could have with that jet stream dipping southeast is a higher chance of severe weather in the southeast, typically in El Nino winters. So that's definitely something to be weather aware of, because we do tend to see higher precipitation amounts as well in the winter.
Yes, and if you look at the seasonal temperature outlook, you can see that there are higher than average temperatures up in the north and northwest sections, which are going to be pushed down to start affecting us very shortly.
Yeah, that's definitely true. We should hopefully be closer to average this winter, what they're predicting, but parts of the northern part of the country are going to stay pretty warm, so that will definitely be a break for them up there, but maybe it won't be quite so oppressive down in the south with the heat then.
Yes, also the precipitation is going to be increased. As you can see in our southeast region, we are way above average in that deeper green color.
Yeah, you can definitely see that sticks out. It's a pretty dark color, green, So you know that we're going to have a pretty wet winter. So we're going to have to pay attention when the jet stream dips. Any low pressures that ride along the jet stream could create severe weather as they come over the southeast, including here in Florida.
Yeah, I would much rather a more mild winter. So with that being said, let's take a look on more extreme weather that we are seeing in other areas, like some drought.
Yes, thank you, Isabel. So we are going to move things into the droughts. So honestly, droughts are something that is definitely a very interesting thing as far as weather is concerned. And unfortunately, we are seeing some of that here in the southwest region. So over in Dallas, we are seeing, honestly, it's called exceptionally dry conditions in the Houston area. So over here in Houston, we have you see this very dark red is representing a very dry area. So over here in the entire United States, really we are seeing droughts all around the area, but over here in the southwest is what we are specifically looking at right now. So not only is it really, really dry, but it is also very, very warm. It is 92 in Dallas right now, and we are pushing 103 in Phoenix, Arizona. So these conditions are not something to take lightly. This is definitely something that heeds warning to heat exhaustion and other things that could really affect the health of the residents in this area. Our dew points are showing that it is very dry. So here in Austin and Dallas, our dew point is very far away from the actual temperature of the area. So that is really showing that arid temperature that we're seeing. So it was 103 degrees in Phoenix, and it has a 34-degree dew point. So that is exceptionally dry, as meteorologists call it. In Dallas, we are not seeing much hope. There is not a ton of scattered showers in that area, but over here in Houston and along the coast in New Orleans, we are seeing a little bit more scattered showers, so hopefully that will come to cool things off in this area and hopefully lower that drought rate. For the future radar, really same thing. Houston, all the coastal areas do have a better chance at seeing a little bit more of a change, but really in this area there's going to be some very, very dry conditions. So on another note, we are going to talk about floods, which is a little bit different than what I was just talking about.
Yeah, we're actually going to be going up to the northeast. We're going to be talking about the exact opposite type of weather as a flood up here. But first, you're going to look at some of these cities that may be experiencing flooding along the coast. You don't see the coast in the pictures, but you can see the clouds and the rain. But here's our current watches and warnings. We do have a low pressure system off the coast here that's going to be pushing the winds into the coast. So if you know anyone who lives coastal Virginia, coastal Delaware, coastal New Jersey, coastal New York, tell them to be aware if they're going to be going out and about on the beach this weekend. Here's where you have your setup. You have your high pressure north, you have your low pressure here to the south, you have your winds rotating around the low pressure and pushing all these showers and all the winds right into the coast over here of New Jersey and New York. And you can see where the nor'easter's pretty much at its strongest along the Jersey Shore. So if you know anyone that lives or has any vacation homes out here, tell them maybe now wouldn't be the best time to be out on the coast here. And looking at your future radar, you can see that this continues to be a problem the next couple days. It does weaken a little bit, and then coming in from the west, we do have a strong band of thunderstorms. So this should hopefully stop the coastal flooding as it does get closer, because it will shift the winds. But some tips for coastal flooding: you definitely want to elevate your belongings if you live on the coast. You don't want to get your belongings to be flooded. You want to move your car to higher ground, because otherwise you could get your car flooded. And you want to have an evacuation plan, because if the coastal flooding does get too bad, you want to have somewhere to go. I don't think it's going to get that bad this time, but you never know, so you do want to always have that plan. But definitely make sure to have all of your stuff situated so that you aren't going to become as much of a victim. You can get out alive and save yourself, and then save as many of your possessions as you can, because you always want to be able to do that if you can. But now I'm going to pass things back off to Jackson.
Thank you so much, Nika. And speaking of moisture, we are seeing a lot of moisture right now that's brewing up in the Atlantic. We're going to take a look into the tropics. As we can see right now, we do have Tropical Storm Felipe. Currently wind speed is at 45 miles an hour. It's making its way towards the west right now at 13 miles an hour. We don't think it would be too much of an issue, but we'll get into that here in a second. And then, as you can see, this big red area, this is the area that we're going to be watching for a possibility of formation of the next storm right behind Felipe. And as of right now, the National Hurricane Center has put 2-day development possible on it, and that chance of 2-day developing is 80%. And within 7 days, they have it at a 90% probability of developing into something. So we'll definitely have to keep our eye on it. And then taking a look at the spaghetti models, if this thing does turn into, this low pressure system does turn into some China's tropical storm, most of them are showing just kind of skirt a little bit north of Hispaniola, San Juan. So we'll have to keep our eye on it in the next 7 days to see if anything happens with it. And taking a look at Felipe, as you can see right here, it's right here circling around, not doing much. It is expected to weaken a little bit, and that's mainly due to some dry air and some wind shear that it's going to be running into as it goes just north of Puerto Rico and gets closer to Haiti and the Dominican Republic. So, you never know. Our water temperatures are pretty warm right now, so we have to keep an eye on that as well as we get closer to that time frame. And then taking a look at the spaghetti models, all of them are pretty much in agreement in that northward track above Puerto Rico, except for the one going off north. So we'll have to definitely keep our eye on it. It'd be something pretty interesting. And like I was just saying, our warm water temperature right now, you've been hearing it all summer, and it's something we really have to keep an eye on for the tropics. And then now, as you can see, we have Felipe right there. And so now, since we have a bye weekend for Florida State football, we're going to take a look at what we can do at Tallahassee with Isabel.
Thank you. So I'm going to talk about what you can do, starting with the Sportsplex. If you're at any IM sports or club sports right here, beautiful conditions. It's a little bit cloudy, which will probably be helping you working out, making you get a little bit less hot. St. George Island, Lake Bradford, and FSU at Panama City are all experiencing that same type of weather that we've seen all throughout our day here going to classes. If you have any airports, parents coming in town, you leaving because we don't have a game this weekend, it is clear there are no delays. It is 79 degrees and you're all cleared to fly today. So again, other airport delays, if you have any connections in Atlanta, Dallas, Fort Worth, everywhere, all the way up to New York, there are no delays and pretty good weather for flying, hopefully very minimal turbulence going on right now. If you have any allergies, allergic to pollen, you are in the clear this week because it is low for grass, weeds, trees, anything like that. You can go outside and be able to breathe through your nose because there's nothing going on for you today. Dog walk forecast, if you want to walk your dog tomorrow, it is going to be a little bit rainy, so maybe try to hold off on that or get out before it. It is 73 degrees, good temperatures, but you probably will get wet at 7 a.m. if you're up to walk your dog. You're a great dog owner if you're doing that. And then 11 p.m. it's sunny, but we're still seeing those clouds, some scattered thunderstorms. Tonight, if you want to go stargazing, it is beautiful conditions. It's fair, but we are seeing those overcast conditions, so you might not be able to see as many stars as you would see on a normal day. The sunset is at 7:29, sunrise is at 7:28, so we're seeing that 12-hour nighttime. And the moon is a waxing gibbous if you are able to see it through the clouds. Since we don't have that football game, we are versing Miami in soccer. We have a very great soccer team, and it is perfect conditions for you to go see it on Friday. 78 degrees, partly cloudy, beautiful for those ladies out there. Same thing with volleyball. It's inside, so walking to the Tully gym, you will have partly cloudy conditions at 78 degrees. Beautiful to walk to those gyms. And again, cross country, you're going to be out there for a long time, and it is mostly sunny. Good temperatures. It's not going to kill you very much, but it's going to be a little bit warmer, especially for how long those meets last. The beach, if you're going to head out there at Shell Point, Florida, mostly sunny with south winds at 6 miles an hour. So go out there, even if you can't get the best tan on, you might as well go get some relaxation in. And in the morning, 73 degrees, not the best day to go to the beach, but as we move on throughout the day, it's going to continue, so it might not be good at any time. And scattered thunderstorms at the Sportsplex. And I'm going to take a step away and look at the week ahead for you to plan your schedule, but I'm going to pass it on to Nick for the last look at the local.
Thank you, Isabel. Yeah, unfortunately, there's no football, but it seems like there's a lot of sports that we can pay attention to this week. So with a live look at Doak right now, unfortunately, it doesn't seem like we're going to get to see a sunset today. It's been cloudy this entire day, and it's going to continue to be cloudy later on into the evening. But right now, temperatures are pretty nice. This cloud cover has prevented today from being too hot. It's been mostly in the upper 70s, so right now it's 79, with a slight breeze from the east-northeast at 6 miles per hour. As for the current radar, most of that worst part of the rain that we saw for most of the day has made its way northeast towards Georgia, and there is some rain at the moment in the Apalachicola National Forest region, mostly in closer to Panama City and Port St. Joe. But for the time being, we shouldn't see too much rain this evening, just some spotted showers here and there for the Tallahassee area. As for current temperatures, like I said, most of the region was fortunate due to the cloud cover not to see anything too hot, just 79 in Tallahassee, 79 in Mariana, a little bit cooler out east near Perry and Live Oak. As for dew points, it's been pretty muggy today. Most of that rain coming from the Gulf has evicted some moisture into the region. So we've been seeing dew points of 76, 75 in Quincy, and 74 in Apalachicola. So it's been a little bit uncomfortable, and if you are going to do some sports today, you probably will sweat quite a bit. And as for future radar, most of the rain should remain in the Appalachia Bay region and maybe near the coastal regions like Carabel, Apalachicola. So those areas are the ones to keep an eye on. And if you are going out in the water, it's probably going to be a small craft advisory, and there's going to be some chop and waves. As for tonight, temperatures are going to be 71. Again, it's going to remain cloudy, so temperatures won't drop too much. There won't be too much cooling tonight. But the wind will be from the east at 8 miles per hour, so it should be a nice breeze if you are going out tonight. And as for tonight's forecast, most of the region is going to be in the lower 70s. Apalachicola and Carabel are going to be a little bit warmer at 77 and 76, but the rest of the Big Bend region will be in the lower 70s. And for tomorrow's forecast, again, we're going to continue to see this rain into tomorrow and Thursday. Temperatures will be a little bit warmer at 82 degrees, and we will continue to see thunderstorms and the wind again from the northeast at 8 miles per hour. And for tomorrow's forecast, we're going to see slightly warmer temperatures, like I said, but as you go a little bit more north, a little bit near Bainbridge and Thomasville, remain cooler at 78 and 79. And as for a look at the week ahead, like I said, on Wednesday, things will continue to be rainy with 50% chance of rain, and then it should start to clear out by the weekend, and temperatures will once again be hot with temps in the mid-80s and lows in the mid-60s. Now I'm passing it off to Isabel and Oceana to close things off.
We have seen just about every sort of weather condition this week, starting from the rain here. It's been raining all day, as you've probably seen through classes, and my family in Virginia Beach is experiencing potential floods.
Yeah, seriously, that rain that we've been getting here especially has definitely made me want to stay inside all day. But there are places that definitely need it more, as we mentioned in the show, the Southwest drought. So if you are in a place where there are droughts, definitely be vigilant, conserve water, all of those types of tips we also went over today, didn't we?
Hopefully we are going to see some more of that. So make sure you follow us on Twitter at FSU Weather.
And like us on Facebook at FSU Weather.
Also, we have YouTube, which is probably where you're watching us, at FSU Weather.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather and send us pictures that we can put on our show.
Yeah, so hopefully this gave you a little insight into the week, but we are going to give you one last look at the 7-day just in case you want to plan more of your week this week.